Am I the asshole for not feeling remorse for my actions as a teenager toward my dad's wife that terrorized the whole household, according to my grandparents?
Posted by Sophionniah.
My mom died when I, 27 female, was 7, after a lot of health issues following the birth of my younger sister, 20 female. My dad pawned us off on his family members for a few years after mom's death, but refused the help of anyone from mom's family since he knew they would offer to take us in, which they did, if they were doing the parenting, and he basically took us home for him to be fun-time dad. His family didn't mind helping for a while, but once they got tired of it, he found a woman to marry, and he let her take over instead. During all of this, he was doing his best to limit the contact we had with mom's family, and because he let them see us, they didn't have a case for legal grandparents' visitation. But we were lucky to see them once a year, and he didn't even like me talking to them on the phone. I was 10 when he remarried, but he only knew her a couple of months before they got married, and he moved her in 2 weeks before the wedding, which is when he pawned us off on her. She told me and my sister, who was 3 at the time, that she was our new mom and she was going to take care of us now. I got mad and yelled at her and said she wasn't my mom. She told me I didn't have to feel that way right now, but eventually I'd see she was our new mom and I couldn't stop it. I yelled some more and stormed off. That was the start of me hating that woman for insisting she was my new mom. She used to try and touch me all the time, and I'd get mad and yell at her, and I'd slap her hands away so many times. She was always trying to get hugs from me because she even said it was a sign we were bonding. The two of us got into more fights once I turned 12 and refused to acknowledge her when she was trying to talk to me and hug me. It pissed her off, and it pissed me off that she wouldn't leave me alone, and she'd always tell me not to ignore my mom. My dad stayed totally out of it. He was still playing Disney dad or fun time dad. He showed up to take us places, but for any actual parenting or support, he wasn't around. And when I tried to get support from him, he told me, "Talk to your mom." I used to tell my sister about our mom, and my dad's wife hated it. She said it was my attempt to alienate my sister from her, and we'd fight about it. She always said it was disrespectful to her as our mom now. It led to more fights, and I must have wished her dead hundreds of times from the age of 15 to 17, when things got really tense and high conflict. Eventually, I just left and moved in with my maternal grandparents. I was 17 and not even a senior yet, but I was miserable, and my sister clearly loved Dad's wife and accepted her as her mom, so it felt like I had no good reason to stay. She was getting put in the middle for loving us both, and I just couldn't be around that woman anymore. I think we were getting to the point where a fight would have turned physical. I haven't seen or spoken to my dad or that woman since. Contact with my sister was extremely limited until a couple of years ago. We're not very close, and our differences are huge, not just because of the 7-year age gap, but due to the family stuff. She's totally disconnected from mom's side, and I can't stand the woman she calls mom. But we have a relationship. My paternal grandparents had said they were understanding of my feelings, and they claimed to support me until I got engaged, that is. And then they started mentioning reconciliation, and when I sent out save the dates a few weeks ago and didn't include my dad or his wife, they outright asked me why I hadn't reached out to apologize to her and why I didn't show any sign of remorse for my teenage actions. They said my hostility to her terrorized the house and that I'd put her in a really bad position as the mom of the house. I asked where this came from after years of supporting me, and they told me they believed supporting me as an older teen and younger adult would lead me to see that I was wrong. They told me they expected me to regret throwing away the chance at having a second mom and treating her worse than a criminal for trying to be the mom I didn't have anymore. They said my hatefulness toward the woman willing to raise us was crazy high, and they assumed through the therapy I had been attending as an adult, I would see that. I told them nothing would make me take the blame like that when she insisted she was my new mom when she wasn't. I told them they were also wrong for the new mom stuff. I said, you don't replace a parent when they die. They said, not replace, but add one to fill the missing space. I said, you don't even do that unless you're really young like my sister. I said, I have a mom, and she may be dead. She may not have finished raising me, but she is the only woman who would ever get that title. And insisting to share that title was never going to endear me to someone. They said they didn't think it was a big enough crime to be treated like I treated her. They said the only wrong they saw was her trying to force physical contact, but they also said I was too harsh when I would slap her hands away. I told them I didn't agree, and they looked disappointed, but they also told me they could not understand me. They said a good person should be able to see how wrong I was and feel remorse for it. Am I the asshole? Deep Rig 1820 comments. So they blame you, but don't see how that POS of a father alienated your mother's actual family and eliminated the memory for your sister regarding her biomom? Right. Blame the innocent because how dare you blame their family and their son for treating you like crap? Actions have consequences. You didn't want a new mom. The situation is ridiculous, but OP definitely not the asshole. OP responds, they don't. As far as they're concerned, Dad did his best. I feel that's a cop-out, because if he wasn't going to raise us, he could have let family members who wanted to do it. Instead, he found someone to do it for him that kept us with him to play the fun guy whenever he felt like it. In doing so, he let our sister grow up with Mom being someone who shouldn't be talked about because imagine the poor little wifey feeling jealous. He gets too much credit for fighting to keep us, in my opinion. Professional Drama AW comments. They said a good person should be able to see how wrong I was and feel remorse for it. Thank them for showing their true colors and showing you your mistake to trust them and uninvite them too. That's what I would do. OP response. Thankfully, no formal invites have gone out yet, so there's no need to uninvite them. I just won't send them an invite if this is how they feel. There's no reason to make my wedding a drama fest over it. Foxy Sly Old Stody Fox comments. Maybe he did do his best. It's just that his best was a complete failure and also revealed his shortcomings as a human being, and that his best was so cataclysmically bad that there is nothing to be gained from associating with him in any way. OP response. I don't know if I'd say that was his best. His best would generally have been putting us first and not himself. I suppose in his own head it could be his best, but either way he failed us so bad that I find no value in having him in my life. Glittering Swan 5911 comments. They are telling you off for things you did as a grieving child. It's very poor behavior from them. As a young child losing your mom, it would have been extremely difficult and upsetting for you, and I feel like no one was there for you that mattered. Your dad failed both you and your sister. Children suffer grief for years, and you were basically told to get on with it and accept this woman as your mom with no thought about your feelings. He brought this woman into your life too soon because he couldn't parent alone, which is very sad. He passed all your care to a woman you didn't even know very well. How did he and his family ever think that was appropriate? To make you feel bad for not bonding is incredibly poor taste. Going low contact with your grandparents is best. I'm glad you're in contact with your sister. I hope she understands your feelings, but she was a baby, so has no memory of your mom. Edit. Don't invite your Judd's family to the wedding. OP response. He only cared about keeping us in his house and away from our mom's family. So that meant once his side no longer wanted to be free babysitters, he needed to find someone to fill in again, only he wasn't going to let it be the people who actually wanted to raise us. So he found someone and married her in 2 months. It's crazy to do, but in his mind, what mattered was that it eliminated our maternal side.